Hello everybody, welcome to Grand Tacticians The Civil War. This is the Confederate Campaign, episode number 18. The armies have gone into winter quarters in the middle of January 1862. Beauregard plans his next steps in Maryland. The Union armies out west activate, and Preston's cavalry corps sets his sights on Baltimore. That and much more on the next episode of Grand Tactician, The Civil War. It is January 13th, 1862, and most of the armies are in their winter quarters. You can see the Union now seems to have set up armies instead of departments. We have an Army of Minnesota, an Army of the North, Army of the Ohio, Army of Northeastern Virginia, two armies that we have been battling against. There was the Department of Pennsylvania. I don't know if that has switched over to the Army of the North. And currently we have our Army of Northern Virginia under Beauregard with his two corps commanders, Robert E. Lee and Joe Johnston, holding the crossing at Harper's Ferry with garrisons at Frederick and even as far as Gettysburg. We control or have some scouts over in those areas and gaining resources and material from those two cities, of those two northern cities. We were attempting to try to trap the Army of Ohio after the Battle of the Ohio and Chesapeake Canal, but our troops seem to be stubbornly holding on to their winter quarters. We try to issue orders again to Lee. They already have offensive stance. We've had to use Preston's cavalry corps to retake Winchester and Harper's Ferry because it looked like either it was the Army of Ohio or I think there's probably another army, the Army of Northeastern Virginia, or there was an Army of Potomac in previous episodes. And I'm wondering, someone had cut straight through the Shenandoah Valley to get to Washington, D.C. And I think it wasn't necessarily a raid attempt. I think it was more because we are blocking the Cumberland, and they decided the quickest route to help defend Washington, D.C. because we were threatening Washington pretty severely, and they cut straight through Winchester. But they also, when doing that, they had occupied. So we have sent Preston's corps to recapture. We have our two garrisoning armies, or you can't even call them armies, one under Magruder and one under Porterfield. We've sent Porterfield to kind of help guard the valley from incursions. Alright, so we've created a Army of North Carolina, which we'll probably rename. I think we're going to rename it the Army the Shenandoah. And I don't even know if I like that name necessarily, but their main task will be to guard the Shenandoah Valley. So I guess that will work for us. And we are actually going to assign our old friend Benjamin McCulloch to head this army, and he'll probably absorb the commands of Magruder and Porterfield. So he'll take on the Hampton Division and Porterfield's Army of the Northwest. So it brings his army strength up to almost 20,000 men and 31 guns. And they will be tasked with guarding the Shenandoah and also building depots and possibly forts, strong points. They will and also be called upon to reinforce Beauregard in Northern Virginia if need be. We're looking for a suitable corps commander here. Or we can do Alfred Colquitt. He has battle experience. We'll assign him that corps. Actually, what would make more sense we'll assign it to Porterfield, who's already in the valley. So basically, we're reinforcing Porterfield's command in the Shenandoah Valley already. We'll give him 2 division commands. We'll make it a proper corps. And we'll rename it Porterfield's Corps. We'll give Colquitt command of, we'll give him a division command. Let's do Major Walter Payne. He's a veteran of the Mexican War. Although I like James Archer, maybe we leave him available for another command. Let's see if we can find an artillery. Arnold Elzey. Might be smart to assign a engineer. So Martin L. Smith will take command of a brigade here. We probably want to use him somewhere else. Yeah, we don't want our best available commanders in this army, really. All right, so Army of Shenandoah's order of battle is set, and we are going to send McCulloch over to Charlottesville because I want to free up the cavalry corps in the Army of Northern Virginia. So Porterfield, we're gonna order Porterfield to march to Winchester and fortify that area. And over in the Western Theater, you still have Albert Sidney Johnston and his Army of the West, consisting of 67,000 men right now, 3 corps, Hood, Price, and Buckner. We are attempting to prod Price along in a winter campaign. He has already secured Hartford, Kentucky. We want to have him move on to Evansville. Then we have the Army of the Trans-Mississippi under Zollicoffer. So we have Tillman's Corps. It's a cavalry corps attached to the Army of the Trans-Mississippi, but they're kind of going to be an independent command for the most part. Their goal, and I need to order them into Missouri, though. We need to find a place where they're going to springboard into Kansas and hopefully push Kansas over into the Confederate side. Now, they join on the side of the Union, but they have 100% support for the Confederacy, although their state government sided with the Union. So we're going to have to wrest Kansas by force from the Union control. So we need to order Tillman and his cavalry command. Looking like Springfield, Missouri will be the choice. So what I've decided to do here was actually give Tillman his own command. Now we're calling it the Army of Texas, and I actually want to... It's going to show up as an army here. I wish there was a way to make independent corps commands. And the reason I'm doing this is to speed up the ordering. If Tillman's going to be doing things more independently, he still has to, and he's under Zollicoffer's command, he's going to have to wait for orders from Zollicoffer before he actually starts executing, and it might take forever in the vast distances of the West. Now again, we could also build telegraph lines to help with speed up that communication. Now that would also take time as well to build up that infrastructure. So we need to replace Tillman before we can make him the commanding officer of this unit. Now we'll put Pegram in as the corps commander. So this Army of Texas, actually we're going to call it the Army of Kansas. Tillman's stationed in Beaumont now. But we have reduced the time it will take for Pegram to get his orders. And they'll meet in Springfield. We actually give Carr's division to Tillman to help to come in behind the cavalry raiders and secure towns. That might be a smart move to make that Kansas campaign successful. So Carr's division of about 1,800 men. Let's recruit some men as well. Probably one more brigade of infantry and then an artillery brigade. We'll use our New Mexico men. That's fine. We'll leave Manigault as the commander of the New Mexico Brigade. And we want an artillery brigade or artillery battalion. We'll recruit some more Texas boys. Actually, do we want to actually give Stephen D. Lee the command? I don't know how he'll feel way out west. Actually, let's do it. All right, now Tillman's numbers bump up to almost 7,000 for this Kansas campaign, which I feel that should be sufficient. That brings Zollenkoffer's numbers down to about 11,000 in Missouri. All right, let's fast forward this. Oh, the Union Army's on the move in Missouri. The Department of Ohio. Let's see, Gregg's men might be in... They might be under threat. We might have to have them fall back. Get ready, Hood and Buckner. So we currently have 3 Confederate invasions. Lee's Corps and Johnston. Well, they count Joe Johnston's Corps also as an invasion. Plus the Army of Northern Virginia, which is basically one invasion. Industrialization 2 policy selected. More support for Union factories. New ship types available. Mass production of new weapon types. So yes, Department of Ohio is on the move. We need to get Maxie Gregg back to Rolla. We're going to put them on a defensive stance. So deep winter campaign here. We are going to order Hood straight for Cairo. With Buckner in behind in reserve. It's going to take a while. Buckner's going to... I'm sorry. Maxie Gregg's going to take a while to get those orders. Hood is on the move. And Buckner's Corps will also follow Hood's Corps to Cairo as they chase the Department of Ohio, who has camped now across the Mississippi River. So Albert Sidney Johnston sees an opportunity to retake Cairo. Right, Lee is at destination. So we got a lot of things to be watching for, because we also have a lot going on in the east now too. Alright, so Lee's not able to catch the fleeing Union Army. So with the Army of Shenandoah now moving in under Porterfield to secure our rear area, we're going to order Lee to Frederick and position himself there and threaten Baltimore and Washington. We'll probably stay in winter quarters here and keep an eye on what the Union armies do, and then strike in the spring. Since we have a lot of volunteers now, do a little bit of recruiting while we're in winter quarters in Maryland. And we'll give our boy Pickett an assignment. He gets a command. Let's give another brigade to Clayton. So we're reinforcing the Army of Northern Virginia. I would like to make an Army of Tennessee. Already have a lot of our generals assigned. Maybe Jackson gets it. Ewell might be able to. Here's all our Corps and Army commanders. Ewell's actually on the up and up. Give Johnston the command of the Army of Tennessee. And then promote Ewell. That's what I think we're going to do. So let's replace Ewell. Might be a good candidate. Or James Archer. We have George James. Yeah, he could probably take over Ewell's command. Alright, George James is now in command of James's division. And Johnston was going to be replaced by Ewell. Oh, Ewell has the cavalry branch of arms bonus. Find that interesting. Alright, so Ewell takes Corps command, but we're going to give Joe Johnston his own army in Tennessee. And his goal is to be supportive of... His number one responsibility will be to support Albert Sidney Johnston. And then, from there, depending on how situations unfold, possible strike northward if things are possible. There we go. Johnston's got the command. Let's add 2 groups here. So army of about 23,000. Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. Okay, pretty cool. We use the auto generate unit. Let's see what they kind of gave us here. Do want to change the commanders up though. Yeah, we'll give Armistead a division command. Oh, there's Archer. You get a division, or I'm sorry, corps command. So we want to make Armistead or Archer, for that matter, corps commanders already. Don't really have much of anyone else. So there you go, unless we start moving other commanders around. So going through replacing the commanders. Let's give William Pender the artillery command. How about Ambrose P. Hill? Oh, A.P. Hill. We haven't given him a command yet. Oh, we need division commanders. Actually, we have 2 corps commands, but no, each with their own divisions. It's very funny to me that the AI is auto-generating Union commander names, but film on a double day. That is funny. Should we keep Franz GT Abercrombie? Let's do Captain William Barksdale and promote him. He'll get his own division. These are smaller divisions, but kind of want to clean up the structure of this army. It's going to take almost a good 20 days for this army to form. Yep, about 24 total by the time the last artillery battalion is finished. So we have an army of Tennessee forming. Back to the winter campaign of 62. As it looks like the Union is abandoning Cairo and striking into Missouri. So we're going to take that advantage and send John B. Hood's corps into Cairo. Now looks like Max C. Gregg's division here might get caught by the Department of Ohio, and Cairo is being secured. That's going to cut off the Department of Ohio pretty good. See, let's send Buckner to capture this Union supply depot. Looks like Gregg is finally on the move. Let's recall Blanchard. Or let's send Blanchard towards St. Louis. And try to combine arms, even though Zollicoffer is overall outnumbered 11,000 versus 30,000, although not good, is better than 30,000 versus 5,000. Plus, when you add in Hood cutting off the Department of Ohio, I think we're going to try to send Hood to Pinckneyville, keep Buckner around Cairo, and just see what the Army of Ohio does, or Department of Ohio does in response. Alright, so Gregg is getting away. Put at destination. There's the Army of Potomac marching westwards. We've captured some Pennsylvania coal mine. That's probably where they're going to recapture that. Why don't we order Preston to go on raid into Maryland? Army orders, raid. One raid going on. Preston's strength. Alright, so Cairo is back in Confederate hands. Buckner has taken Union supply depots on the south bank of the Mississippi and south of Cairo. And we might be able to trap the Department of Ohio. Though they're 30,000 strong, so they would probably fight like a caged animal. A caged animal that could... A caged bear. They could probably maul you if you weren't careful. What's going on here? We had Order Pegram. Our Kansas campaign is not getting off the ground. We are kind of moving things around quite a bit, and it's probably putting a strain on our logistics. Keep an eye on that debt rating, as we've gone down to BB+. So I wonder if we need to... Oh, we're not putting any subsidies in transportation. We're going to lower subsidies and maybe help our treasury out a little bit. So currently we are outnumbered by almost 130,000 men currently. But if we can keep defeating the Union armies in detail, it will be like even odds. Now the question becomes, do I pursue just with Hood? I feel like I can pursue with Hood and then use Ollicoffer, reinforce from the other side. Let's watch the army movements for January 21st as morning arrives. It looks like Lee has made it to Frederick, Maryland. There's some skirmishing going on, though. Okay, skirmishing with Preston's Corps. So they are suffering some casualties. Porterfield is at Winchester, so we're at a nice secure base here. Yeah, Porterfield has about 13,000 men. I don't think he's at full strength. He has about 6,000 men right now. Army of the Ohio with 12,000 men hiding, licking their wounds in Annapolis. And then Army of Northeastern Virginia turning an eye towards Lee. Now Lee might be vulnerable. He looks isolated where he is at in Frederick. So why don't we march Ewell's Corps to the north here with Beauregard. Now that Porterfield is at Winchester, I feel a little bit better. Although the Department of Pennsylvania looks like they've recaptured the Cumberland. We might reinforce Porterfield even more. Let's do a Tennessee brigade. Because the Department of Pennsylvania actually... they'd have to cross. I don't think there's any good area to cross here. They have to double back and then cross over by Grafton and then move east into the valley. But having Porterfield in distance to Harper's Ferry too will help. In case... Ooh, there's Army of Potomac and Department of Pennsylvania plus the Army of the North forming. So a lot of reinforcements in Pennsylvania, and it's like we're getting ready to possibly strike into Maryland. Let's watch the movements of the 22nd. Preston approaching Baltimore. Buildings damaged, so Preston doing his job. Hartley Colliery disaster. Coal mining accident in England. Pumping engine beam fractured. Trapped men dead. 2 shafts required. Preston wreaking some havoc in Baltimore. Let us peek back west. Oh, there's an Army of the Northwest threatening St. Louis. 25,000 men. So here's where the superior Union numbers might start coming into play. That leaves me no choice, I think. I gotta strike with Hood. Hood's gonna strike at the Department of Ohio. Buckner's also gonna be called upon. Alright, let's start the movements for January 23rd. You can see Hood is now on his way. So Hood's Corps landing at Benton. Price is at Evansville Ferry. Gonna create another division for Gregg's Corps under Zollicoffer. Oh, there you go. So you can use the auto-generate function by using the pips here to lower the size of the actual unit. So you can create the number of brigades, then also adjust the size of the brigades too. That's very useful, especially for the South when you can only recruit smaller size brigades at the moment. Trying to reinforce Zollicoffer. Now those reinforcements will be ready for another half month to a month. All right, here comes Hood. Buckner in the wake. Oh, Hood's on a defensive stance. We're going to have a deep winter battle here. There we go. Ooh, George McClellan is in command of the Department of Ohio with his 30,000 men. Now we bring our full Army of the West. Actually, not the full, because Price is on his own in Kentucky right now. But we have Hood and Buckner's corps. Total of 38,000 men. 8,000 cavalry and 105 guns. So we outman and outgun McClellan here. McClellan's worst nightmares coming to fruition. We are going to play this battle here on the next episode. I hope you join me for that conclusion, and I hope you're enjoying this video so far. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.